It's another week of the best podcast in the whole fucking world, Long and Hard.
I am your host, Long.
And I'm soft, but I'm also hard.
Depends on the day of the week. Depends how much sleep I got the night before, what I ate.
I'm a hard man. It's okay.
We're back this week. We are joined by YourGirlKarly.
Yes, we are. We have a lot of interesting conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We span the gambit between marketing, online presence,
Social
Instagram,
media, Instagram,
TikTok. Why TikTok's the best.
Going forward.
Apparently.
2020 social media platform to be on.
I do my first TikTok after the show. Then we get into dating. I get what's the word I'm looking for?
Roasted.
A
light roasting.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think we ripped on you.
I think it was pretty fun.
You held your own. So.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And then it was good. Good. Talk about Tinder and fucking Carly's 9 days of dating experiment.
Yeah.
Back to the old social media game. I don't know. It was really fun. So
it was pretty funny because we were like one way, then the other way, then we went back to it.
Yeah, we did, eh? It kind of like, you'll see we start talking kind of businessy, start talking about penises and vaginas, and then bring it back in for social media advice for 2020. So
to finalize off the podcast.
Yeah, to wrap it all up. So
in long and hard fashion.
Great. Yeah, it's a good Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 podcast, so I think you'll really enjoy it. And you can also check out Carly on all your platforms. She's YourGirlKarly with a K.
And she's got her own podcast, Hey Bitches.
Yeah.
Hey Bitches?
Hey Bitches podcast.
Hey Bitches.
So check that out.
Nice. Let's get her going.
We're not going to be allowed to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Welcome to Long and Hard.
I'm super complicated.
He's here, right here, officer.
Well, we already know that Tom has the biggest brain here.
Yeah.
The podcast you didn't know you needed in your life until now.
I was 230 pounds.
Nice.
So much. We're all wearing jeans. There's so much piss on all these jeans. It just.
We're recording here.
Do you guys swear on your podcast?
Oh yeah.
Oh thank fucking God. I recorded like on my other friend's podcast and like my podcast is called Hey Bitches and like
yeah.
I went to go do her podcast and my friend Kaylee, she was like, oh yeah, like this is Carly, her podcast is, and then we were both like, oh fuck, because she doesn't swear on her podcast, and so we had to like just make up a name for it the entire time.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a
Call
roadblock
it
I've run
Hey
into.
Friends or something.
It was called Hey Babes on
there
the
you
podcast.
go. Okay, yeah. Does like Apple or anything get mad at you because there's a naughty word in the title?
No,
or?
it's because I literally set my entire thing to like the entire show is explicit.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
ours is the same.
Right.
So
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, what were we saying?
story
Oh
we
yeah.
were talking
So
about,
we asked you
started
about
your
your.
podcast.
You said super ghetto.
Oh yeah, so my podcast
Or
setup.
out of spite. That's what you said.
Yeah. So my podcast setup is super ghetto because I started it out of spite. So I was seeing this guy. It's episode 4 of my podcast called Dicknesia, and
Yeah.
So I was hooking up with this guy, and we were like kind of dating for like a couple months. It was very serious, and then suddenly we stopped seeing each other. He was just like, "Oh, you're moving, so we can't see each other anymore." And I was like, "I'm moving in a year and a half. What do you mean?" So I was like, "Okay, fuck this dude." And I wanted like a place to talk about it where he wouldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started the podcast.
The internet sounds like the perfect place for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started the podcast, and I started it like low-key out of spite so I could talk about it and like get my feelings out about it without doing it on like a public platform with like my face and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So that went really well for about 3 months, and then I got a phone call one day, and it was like, "Hey, so I listened to your podcast from the guy that I was dating."
Sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, really?" So then he found the podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, it was kind of weird listening to it. It was kind of like a diary of your end because this is stuff you like had never told me." And I was like, "Fuck, this is so awkward."
Yeah.
However, he is still my long-term side dick, and I hooked up with him like a couple days ago, and he now listens to the podcast very religiously.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that is how I started the podcast, but I also started the podcast just so I can like bitch about all the other guys who do trash things in my life too.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So
And maybe
That's
stuff you
also-
can't put on YouTube necessarily,
yeah,
or okay.
also very
yeah.
true.
I was gonna say that's also why we started this podcast.
It's true though. It's like a more fun platform to be able to do that, because like all of my other platforms, like my YouTube and like my Instagram and everything, is very like brand friendly and all of this stuff, and I've always been the one who is pretty outspoken in my friend group, and I don't really care. So I was like, you know what, I want a platform to talk about it, so now I talk about sex on my podcast all the time instead of on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Well, I mean, there's YouTubers that get away with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One of our buddies is a stand-up comedian, and he talked to us about how his ex-girlfriend is like actually a pretty predominant YouTuber. Can I use that word? Predominant, I guess.
Is that? Yes, I don't know.
She's-
Has a decent.
she's-
She has quite
she's
a few
good
subscribers. So
following.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much her shtick, is, you know, the sex toy reviews and all of that sort of thing.
That surprises
Yeah.
me, but also doesn't, because like when I was in VidCon, I was in VidCon in July this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I went as a creator, so I won a meet and greet with this one YouTuber. Her name's Shan Booty. She's from Toronto,
okay.
and her entire thing is she's a sexologist, and her entire...
Is that a real title, or is that just sort of a?
No, it's a real
okay.
title. You can go to school for it. Like
Okay,
you can
alright.
get a degree.
Interesting. I might have to.
And I've
review
been
my
calling
career path.
myself one all these years with no pre-qualifications.
Exactly. But yeah, so I met her and we talked about it, because like I feel like YouTube is very particular with who they let do things about sex.
Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, but her entire thing is like about sex and love and attraction and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And YouTube's fine with it. She's like a top 1% earner, and
Yeah, most
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
yeah.
We were talking about this because I mean I feel like the younger generation doesn't really have a place to go except for online for that, and they go online for everything. So if we have a YouTuber that discusses this, like, it avoids the "Hey, mom and dad" conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I guess. Hey?
100%.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know?
good point, right? So, yeah.
And it's not just like it's not like sex on the internet like how it was like 20 years ago. It's
What-
like
what do you mean?
actual it's like actual
Please
conversations
elaborate.
about it's like actual conversations about like sex and like love and attraction, like an actual educational way.
Okay.
It's not just like porn on the internet.
Right.
You know
Or
what I mean?
looking up weird sounding phrases on Urban Dictionary
Literally.
that means like some strange blowjob thing or whatever.
And you're like
so,
trying to figure it out. It's not like that. It's
Okay.
like that information is so easily accessible, but in like I feel like a more healthy type of way. Like it's people who like it's their job to talk about it, so they're like not taboo about it, and you can watch it in the privacy of your like own home instead of like
Gotcha.
asking your friend group like, oh my god, like so I heard this, do you know what this is? And then being like, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Or doing the like anonymous questions to your grade 5
Oh my
teacher or
God.
whatever.
I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that.
You just. Oh no.
Those were dark days. Yeah, no, they don't have to do that anymore. They can just look it up on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
They don't
You
even
know, I
need
hadn't
it.
really thought about it this way, but that makes sense, I guess,
Right?
right?
Yeah. I was
So,
gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah.
Right?
they don't even need a curriculum, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
Anymore.
They don't. They
The
really
teachers
don't.
can just mail it in. They're like, all right, kids, YouTube period. Go look up sex stuff. I'm not talking about this awkward
I'm
stuff.
gonna outsource this one.
Literally.
Yeah.
School zone will shut that down real quick.
Yeah, no kidding. So when did you start the whole YouTube thing?
So I started the channel that I'm on in January.
Oh, really? Okay.
Before
you-
that, I like would post videos here and there and all this stuff, but the whole thing kind of ties into me losing my job. I don't know if either of you followed me when that happened to me,
I don't
but
think so.
I think I've come across you in the past 6 or so months.
okay. So I
yeah.
lost my full-time job in May.
Oh, shit.
Nope, March.
'Kay.
Okay, so I used to run the social media for West Edmonton Mall.
Oh,
And
okay.
I did that for 2 years. And then one day I got pulled into the office at like 4 p.m. after working an entire day. And they were like, we're making changes to the marketing team. Peace. And I was like, sorry? And like no
Yeah,
one would
fuck.
explain it to me. And
Okay.
I was like, all right, whatever. And I was like, it's not worth the fight. So I just took it as a as a sign to start doing my own shit full time. So immediately after that, I started the podcast a couple weeks later. I decided that I was going to do all of my online stuff full time, and it happened. I literally like had a full-time influencer career. I still do. But like I made the most money I had ever made in a month the following month, because I was like, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
So I just had so much more time. I learned so much. Like I fell in love with intellectual property and contract law. Like that's like what I really, really want to go into. So I started doing all of that. I started learning all about that, and that's also when I got really, really into YouTube. So in May is when I decided, I was like, you know what, I could put out a video every single day or every single week for 30 weeks, or I could put out a video every single day for 30 days and figure it out. So because I had so much time on my hands, I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I did every day May. I posted a video every single day in May. Learned how to edit, learned how to do all this stuff. And like I had like casually edited things before that, and like I used to work on the radio, so like I kind of like knew a little bit about that and all of that stuff. So I tried to figure it out the best that I could in these 30 days. And that's just how my YouTube career started. It like popped off. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I learned a lot, and that's how YouTube kind of started for me. And then it started snowballing, and we're about to hit 1,100 subscribers, and I started in January. So like I feel like that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And it's a lot harder to get YouTube subscribers these days, right?
Yes,
so
100%.
the kind of, because you've come in after the golden age of YouTube, like that post PewDiePie incident or whatever, right? I think so.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because YouTube is in such like a weird place right now, because last year it was like the entire year was like the relatable YouTuber. So it was all these like 16-year-olds dominating YouTube, growing like 10 million subscribers in a year. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm 23 years old. Like I can't film getting my car for the first time, or like driving for the first time. Like, like I can't do that. I can't film like my 21st birthday. Like all of this content is gone from me. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? So then I started going to like the college niche, because I found like a lot of college YouTubers, and I love that kind of stuff. And that's like when I started my actual blog. That's what I blogged about. And so now I've just been doing that ever since, and people really seem to enjoy it, but it was not the easiest thing to get into, but I love it. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's, I don't know, I like that. That's kind of our style of just kind of give her and figure it out as you go, happens. Right? And
jump in.
Correct course, right? It's better to just put it out there, and, you know, maybe you'll eat shit or whatever, but it's how you learn, right? So
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's literally how I do everything in my life is I just try it and then see what happens. Because I don't know if it's because when I was really young, I used to do literally everything. So I was a competitive dancer for 14 years. I did jiu-jitsu, I played soccer, I swam, I golfed, I did like all of this stuff from a very, very young age. And I feel like my family kind of ingrained the mentality into me that like you can do it, you can decide if you like it, and then you can move on type of thing. So they let me choose a lot of things very young and that I like got to do with my life. So that was really cool, and I think it's just kind of translated over to how I do everything else in my life, because I'm always the person in the group that's like, hey, do you guys want to do this? And they're like, oh no, like I don't want to ask them that, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, all right. So I walk up to someone, I'm like, hey, we want to do this, and like if you literally never ask, the answer is always no. So I always ask.
No,
because like
absolutely.
what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? They're gonna say no.
Yeah.
Sucks. That sucks.
There's we talked about it before, and I think you've read this book, but it's called Rejection Proof. And some guy for 100 days just went and would ask for whatever kind of came to mind, sort of thing. And you know, like go to a coffee shop and be like, hey, can I have a discount on this? Why? Because I want one, sort of thing. And he went and played soccer in some random guy's backyard, and it just all these random little things to kind of prove, A, you're training your rejection muscle, but
yes.
I don't know, if you don't ask, you don't know, right?
Absolutely. So, I feel that 100%. And like I think I got really used to that when I started making a full-time income online, because I send out like 60 rand emails a week. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and not every single 60 of those emails is a yes.
No.
Or
or even answered,
or
even
even
opened.
literally,
right?
exactly.
So, yeah.
So it's such like a minuscule thing on my mind. If someone says no, it's like, all right, like on to the next one in my spreadsheet of 300 people I have to send emails to. Like, it's honestly not a big deal, and that's how I make a lot of friends too recently, like especially online friends. I low-key kind of have forced people to be my online friend, but it's turned into like good friendships.
We're kind of like each other, goddammit.
Basically.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who I actually saw the first time I ever met him was on TikTok on my For You page. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I like duetted the video, and then it got like 15,000 views, and I was like, maybe I should look him up in other places. So I like looked him up on Instagram and all of this stuff, and what ended up happening is I slid in the DM, didn't open it, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then he added me back on Snapchat, but like one of his friends was cute in his Snapchat story, so I added his friend in the Snapchat story. Then we started talking, and I was like, hey, by the way, like, are you guys gonna go to VidCon? Because this was before I went in July. And he was like, oh, well, my friend has a ticket, but like all the hotels are booked, blah, 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 like, and he doesn't have enough money for a flight. And I was like, this man has 500K followers on TikTok. Like, what do you mean he doesn't have enough money? Does he not do brand deals? Does he blah, blah, blah? And he's like, I don't even think he knows what that is. So immediately I was like, make the connection. I need to talk to this man. So we got on a call when I was in LA. We actually have a meeting later today. But what happened from that ties into the if you don't ask, it won't happen, is his name is Kyle. He just hit 1.5 million followers on TikTok. And we have a meeting today, and he's like, Carly, I want you to manage me. So that has turned from like if I would have just taken the DM not opened rejection,
gave up.
This wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So like now I get to do something fun and awesome with all of my friends and do like a career path that I really enjoy, because like it's so nerdy, but I love contracts. I love intellectual property rights, licensing stuff. Like I love the whole part of the brand deal. So
I'm gonna sound really old for a second.
So
are we going back to TikTok?
I know immediately where he's going, because you're 23.
23.
You said? So we're 26. But when I look at TikTok, I just turn into the "How do you do, fellow kids" meme, because I just don't get it.
100%. I'm like,
I know it's kind of Vine.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, is it like Vine reincarnated?
Sort of. Okay, it's so funny that you asked this, because I felt the same way on TikTok for so long that I made this sound on TikTok. It's me talking to the mirror being like, hey, if you are 21 or if you're under the age of 21, like keep scrolling. And it's like, now that everybody's gone, if you're 21 and older, where are you? Do you want to hang out? And literally it blew up. My best friend did the video, because like on TikTok you have, once you do a sound, it like catalogs into the TikTok sound library. So you can click on it, and then you can do like a voiceover
dub
type,
sort of
like
thing.
like you can do like a voice dub. So my best friend Nikki, she did it. She got TikTok. This was her like third video. She used my voice. That video has 500,000 views. And then someone else's video has like 20,000. And then suddenly I checked today, and like 200 other people have used my sound on TikTok of being really? I am over 21. I feel ridiculous. Where are all of you 21 and older people? But yeah, it's honestly so fun. I was very apprehensive at first, because it literally is like 16-year-olds.
For sure.
And you're like, what is going on? And some of the things you come across, I'm like, you are 16. Where is your mom? What is going on? It is very like... But on the other hand, there is an entire community, and the algorithm on TikTok is so smart that if you stop engaging with like that kind of content and you start engaging with like different content, so like people who are older than 18, it'll start showing you that kind of content, which is very nice, because a lot of it is very cringy and young. Like my sister's 13. She has TikTok, and our For You pages are completely different.
Yeah, I believe it.
There's some girl I was talking to recently. She's 20 years old, and she showed me one, and I was like, huh?
Just what?
Yeah, exactly. So is there a time limit for the...
Yeah, actually, that...
So
because Vine was...
It's
6 seconds?
Yeah, Vine was 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So TikTok is 15 seconds or 60 seconds. But like the 15-second is like the sweet spot. And I think they did 15 seconds because an Instagram story is 15 seconds.
Yeah,
so people
yeah,
are very
for sure.
accustomed to watching the 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But like there is so much going on in the 15 seconds. Like you can't just like sit there and do nothing for 15 seconds. Like people's attention spans are super, super, super short. So.
Yeah. So does TikTok have better monetization options or whatever right now? Because that was, I was actually thinking / reading about this recently. That was the downfall of Vine, right? There was no way to
make money.
Yeah. As the company or as a creator, right?
Yeah. So TikTok does TikTok Live, where if you have more than 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can live stream, and then people give you gifts. So like
like the donations to this. So that's the same as like Twitch or something, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of
cam girling.
Yep.
or that.
Or that.
Better example,
premium
actually. Thanks,
Snapchat.
Josh. Yeah.
Bring.
You need one of those boxes, like when people live stream and they have the sound boxes or like the things to like go up.
Oh
on there.
yeah. Make or like the DJ horn, like
Yes.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, exactly. We knew.
I know that one.
I was thinking about that. We got to work on that. So.
But yeah, so you can make money like that, and then besides that, it works very similar to Instagram, where you just get paid to do things on Instagram. So like for example, I'm doing a brand deal coming up, where I have to film a TikTok video for this brand deal.
Oh, okay.
And
Sweet.
I just have to incorporate it. I don't know the regulations.
Do they give you any guideline, or are they just talk about us, do your thing? So
yeah, it's like a Christmas holiday campaign with like a shopping gift card where you can use anywhere. So my thing, I think I'm gonna do like an all I want for Christmas, and then just do like something along the lines. Like the thing is, brands don't know anything about TikTok,
right?
And also like I don't know anything about TikTok, so it's like trying to figure out how that relationship works together is hard.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because TikTok I think has only been around for a year and a half, because before that, here's some fun TikTok stats, okay?
I'm ready.
TikTok
love this stuff.
is the #1 most downloaded social media app in the world right now. It's surpassed Instagram, it's surpassed Facebook, it's surpassed Snapchat, all of it. It's the second most downloaded in the App Store right now, but that's only because Disney Plus recently just came out and everybody lost their mind. So Disney Plus is the #1 downloaded app in the App Store right now, but TikTok is second. A couple weeks ago, TikTok also had the most downloads for any social media app in the history of the App Store. It also is the only social networking app that is not American. So TikTok, there was originally Musical.ly and TikTok. So Musical.ly was the one where you would do everything on half speed. So like it would make it look cool. There was transitions and all that stuff. And that was what Musical.ly was like. TikTok is Chinese. It came out of China.
Okay.
And there's a lot.
So they're stealing all your data.
Raises my eyebrow.
Yeah.
No, there's been a lot of problems with that too, which we can talk about. But so TikTok and Musical.ly merged. So they took all of like the good things from Musical.ly and all of the good things from TikTok, and then just called it TikTok, and released it worldwide. So now you have this TikTok, giant, biggest social media app in the world, who has absolutely no regulations about what they take from you and all of that stuff. So, for example, do you guys watch Cody Ko? Do you know who Cody Ko is on YouTube?
I know who he is.
He's from Calgary.
Okay.
Really?
Yep, he's from Calgary. He's a YouTuber. He did a whole like video making fun of TikTok, and then TikTok still they didn't steal because they technically own
this guy.
Okay.
They technically own the content that you put out, so they just take the videos and they advertise them, which like is the bane of my existence because like licensing deals are so much money.
Yeah.
But you sign away your rights to that as soon as you start making videos on the app. So
interesting. So how would you monetize then? Because you would go direct to the brand?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so like those I think are the only two avenues to make money on TikTok right now. Like besides like being popular and then selling merch and blah 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 blah. But like how to actually make money through the app, the only option is lives, and then all the external options are brand deals and merch and blah 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 and all of that stuff.
For sure.
Do you think that the social media thing with how brands are getting more into it and advertising through influencers is just because of like, well, I follow this person, so I almost kind of know their life type of thing, and they're my friend, so I'm going to take them as, you know, at their word or whatever for their recommendation or whatever. Is that kind of why they're going that direction?
I feel like 100%. And this has happened to me over the past like week and a half, because like if anybody has been following me on Instagram, you guys would know that I've been doing a lot of like body sculpting. So I had like a chin thing yesterday. I have a hickey.
Oh, there you go.
From my chin vacuum, I had the fat vacuumed out of my face.
Okay.
And so I have been doing that. I've been documenting it on stories. My first 2 sessions, I didn't say anything about it because I was like, I'm just going to go and see what happens. I put up one story and my DMs blew up. I had like 50 DMs being like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what does it cost? And I was like, oh my God. So that happened. And then I casually went to my other friend to get my eyebrows laminated and did that, casually mentioned it on stories, and like literally yesterday I had someone slide in my DM and they're like, I went, here are my results, like blah blah blah, it was so good, and like her eyebrows look so good, but I was like, I barely even mentioned it, and like people are like, we're doing it, and I was
Absolutely.
like, okay, because that was like a really surreal thing. I was thinking about that literally this morning, about how I find it very impactful. Like most of my audience is from the US, but I have a really strong core of like Edmonton people who know me and like trust my recommendations and stuff like that. But that, going back to your question, is why brands invest in influencers, because having a company be like, oh well, buy my insulated, having Yeti be like, buy my insulated freaking
mug or whatever
thing.
Yeah.
It's like the number one in consumer products, versus like him
saying that, oh, this is a really good mug.
Yeah, or like it keeps
or just
my,
a billboard or whatever.
Yeah, it like, or it keeps my coffee like longer, or keeps my coffee warmer for longer, and blah 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 blah. Like having a personal person-to-person connection about it versus like a person to brand is so much better, because why would you believe a brand ever?
Yeah, everyone says they're the best, right? So
true.
Every time. So
True.
So actually I have a question for you. So you said like advertising regulations on TikTok, so on Instagram, how does it, because I see people put like hashtag ad or whatever, and now you can do paid partnership, like tag them. Is that like a federal regulation, or is that just trying to be honest and transparent?
This has been my internet fight for a very long time. So
please elaborate. Please tell. Oh yeah.
There's regulations around it. So America has their own, Canada has their own. Like every place has their own. And it kind of depends. Australia's like ad regulations are the most lax. They have them, but no one follows them and none of them get enforced. The US is way more structured on them, and so is Canada. So basically behind it is, if you get paid, you have to disclose it, because it is the same as putting up like a billboard or putting through a commercial. Like it's advertising, it's paid, and the whole regulation around it is to protect people who don't have like the correct cognitive ability to combat the fact that it's an ad type of thing.
Okay.
So for example, like going back to the eyebrow thing, like I wasn't paid to do that. I just talked about it.
Yeah.
And as a result, someone bought into it type of thing, versus if I was getting paid for it, I would have to disclose it. And like someone buying into it wouldn't be an organic transaction. It would be like an ad.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you have to disclose it if you get paid.
Who says who? There's some. Is it like SEC or something like that, or
no? It's Canadian Advertising Standards.
Oh, okay.
I think. And
so
then
someone will kick in your door if you don't.
Yes and no. So there's fines. So it's Canadian Advertising Standards, and then the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, in America.
Yeah.
And so you can get paid a fine. You can spend jail time if you don't disclose.
Oh,
and, like,
really?
Yeah, it's actually like it's a big deal,
Yeah.
especially in the US, because there's so much money in influencer marketing in the US, and the whole thing behind it is like they want to protect people's ability to make informed choices without feeling like they're getting tricked into buying things.
Yeah.
So like in the US, you can be locked up in jail for like 10 years if you
Yeesh. Yeah, yeah.
And like you also open up yourself to a ton of lawsuits. So like if you don't disclose and then something happens with a company where like corruption or like shitty labor stuff comes to light or something like that, and like let's say someone starts a class action against this brand, you're then liable for it because you didn't disclose that it was a partnership with them.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the problem is not if you do it out of being like, hey, I want to share this with you. The problem is if you do it and you don't disclose that it's paid.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's such a big issue, and so many people don't take it seriously, which sucks, which is like a big reason I don't think a lot of people take it seriously is because no one has really been nailed for anything yet.
Yeah, you don't really know any stories of...
No one has ever been like nailed for it yet. But it all also ties back into the fact that like fraud is like one of the number one things in influencer marketing right now too.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like like fraud in the way you would think about it. I mean...
You mean like exaggerating followers or engagement or likes or whatever?
So you're literally, when you do that, you're literally committing fraud. You're coming to a company being like, I have 100,000 followers, when in reality you bought 90,000 of them. They'll never engage with your content. They're not real people.
Yeah.
All of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's like coming to like a company and being like, oh, my stock price is X when it's actually
Yeah,
Y.
no, exactly. You're overvaluing your company,
which
right?
is illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Well, I come from like the affiliate world. Like I'm dating myself a little bit here because I feel like
truly.
Yeah, like affiliate.
Well,
marketing
even because Amazon affiliates changed their name to Amazon influencers. If you know,
I know.
which
I got
is
an
very
email
like
about it.
Yeah, but like the affiliate world was essentially that. Throw a disclosure on your website about the fact that
It's
sometimes you're going to be promoting products, but then even then there's the paid traffic and stuff and all of that where it's just kind of V 2.0 of this whole thing. I think that the interesting thing about influencing is that we're coming to a point of authenticity is the difference maker.
Yes, 100%.
Right? Because I feel that it's very easy to be fake on the internet. There's a account that I follow on Instagram called Baller Busters.
Oh.
That busts all these like fake millionaires and
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
cool.
Oh my god, I need to follow it.
But
it's like Celeb Face.
What?
You guys follow Celeb Face?
No, what's that?
It's like it uncovers all of the celebrities who like Photoshop their photos.
Oh, okay.
And does like the side by side comparisons.
yeah.
Do they reverse Photoshop it? How do you? Okay.
I don't know, or they get the original photos and like all this stuff. Like
So-
it's
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Kind of like that for
Yeah.
sure.
But then, so what do they do? Do they go confront the person, or do they go?
No, they just post on
They just
their
kind of
Instagram.
they just blast them on the internet.
Yeah.
analyze.
They have a decent following, so
Yeah.
they just throw up like I don't know some random guy who rents a Ferrari for a day and says he's
But
worth $10
How
million.
do they prove it? I guess is what I'm asking.
They go deep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like
They
check-
find like receipts and
they
shit,
check,
and
they check public records for
Oh, yeah.
corporation
Wow.
filings.
Okay.
Like
Huh.
they do like
absolutely.
real shit.
I need to do that to my ex-boyfriend. I recently have seen him
no.
around the city, and he has been whipping it around in a Lamborghini.
Okay.
And he just bought a house. So
Hmm.
I need to fact check that.
Fact check it.
Fact.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna submit him to the.
Baller busters. Yeah.
Well, you have like a watch collection or like there's guys who know that stuff in and out, and they'll be like, "That's fake. That's not real. That's $30. It's not actually $30,000."
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And people are so dumb on the internet. Like especially same but different is guys who catfish on Tinder. Who
Okay.
like use like celebrity photos, thinking like.
See, I've never understood this.
I never understand. I never
Yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
but it's so easy. You literally just screenshot it and reverse image search it,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh
it.
yeah.
And like it pulls up literally everything about them.
Sure.
And so one time I called someone out on this. I was like, so what is the point? Because like I feel like when girls catfish guys are like low-key the weaker sex, so they don't understand that they're being manipulated.
Sure.
And then it turns into them being like paying like girls for all of this stuff
Okay.
because they're like in their mind they're like, oh my god, like this girl is so hot, she's the girl of my dreams, blah blah blah. It's like some dude.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like for girls, I'm like, what are you hoping to gain here? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
So
what do you want from me?
But what do they use? Do they use like a shirtless picture of a jack dude and Photoshop their face on, or
No, they just take the whole photo of the person and they change the name.
Yeah.
And like
so they'll use like Cody Ko's photos or something like that.
Yeah.
I
and
don't
just change the name
Yeah.
and the age and then call it a day. And I'm like what is the point?
There is about 100 fake Tinder accounts of myself out there. So
Really?
They're all actually
How do you
him.
keep track of that? Yeah, exactly.
no, 100%. It's
Keeps
like
getting blocked.
you put yourself out there as a fake account, and then it's like you go to meet this chick in real life, and you're not.
Mhm.
Like, how do you break
Except for
that
I
one?
don't think that's how that happens. And that's why I don't understand
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
guys catfish. Like when girls catfish, kind of a little bit more understandable.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like when guys catfish as like literally different people,
Yeah.
it's like what are you hoping to gain from this? Like I think deep down probably what is happening there is they're like, okay, I'll match with this girl, I'll add her on Snapchat, blah blah blah, like she'll send me like a couple nudes and I'll be good. Type of thing.
I think that's the goal too. I'm going to use
I
Jason
think-
Momoa's picture to get
Yes.
nudes out of chicks, right?
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Okay.
Which is like, what's the fucking point? Just go
Mhm.
watch some porn.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
that's
a
fair.
lot of hours
lot of work.
invested.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a lot of work. You could literally go on Instagram. You could go on Twitter, okay? Twitter has
Yeah,
no
Twitter
rules.
is- oh,
Twitter
man.
has no rules. You could just look at it for free
Yeah.
than like putting effort into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you ever, if you go look at porn stars' Twitters, it's
porn on
it-
Twitter.
but they post similar to like what we would do just now, of like, oh, in the studio sort of thing. They'll do that, but it's in the porn.
It's just yes,
and you're like, what?
100%. You're
Yeah.
like, what's going on here?
And then the next story is like TSN, and you're like, this should be split up a little.
This is not
bit,
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like that's similar to like what you were saying about Baller Buster and like
Mhm,
all of that
mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, I don't know, they just like to be fake on the internet, which is totally not my shit. Like
Yeah.
my number one thing, well, I have a couple like things. So one of them is community and one of them is authenticity. Like I don't want anybody to come into my like sphere of like who I am on the internet and feel like I'm a different person. Like
Yeah,
I don't ever
yeah.
want to sit down and like have a face-to-face interaction and someone be like,
You
like,
seem
you're a lot different
nicer
in person.
or
like,
meaner. Yeah, yeah.
like, well, I guess this is the perfect test. How do you feel now that you've met me IRL?
I would say pretty much exactly as you portray yourself. So
Yeah.
And that's important, I feel like.
Mhm,
Like I
absolutely,
don't want
yeah.
I've had like I had a weird interaction. Well, not weird. It was really, really cool actually. So I was in a liquor store.
okay,
Do
do you get recognized?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In this
All
liquor
right.
store. My
Damn.
best friend was house sitting and he's like, do you want to do homework? And like I ordered dinner and I was like, sure. So I was like, I'll pick up champagne. So I like went, I'm standing in line at this liquor store and I have my bottle of champagne in one hand and I go to like hand it to the lady and I'm like halfway to giving it to her. The person behind me goes, are you Carly?
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah. And I like turn around and he's like, I watch your YouTube channel, blah, 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 blah. Like, I loved like your drinking show because like I used to do a show called Cocktails with Carly where I would like sit and bitch about like things on the internet. So like ad disclosure
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fake influencers. And I was like, the irony of you saying that to me in a liquor store is ridiculous. But
yeah.
it was so cool. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, absolutely.
What? And like my biggest fear about that is like, what if I was like a in real life bitch? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And like I only played this like relatable character on the internet and I turned around to this guy and was like, yeah, it's me. Like I can't believe you didn't recognize me before.
Yeah.
Like
No photos.
what the fuck? Like I hate that. Like I want somebody
Yeah, yeah.
to find me
Mhm.
anywhere on the internet and be like, oh, this is like someone I think like could be my friend, and then I'll probably will force you to be my internet friend. But like
yeah.
being fake online just like is not it for me. And I think I kind of talked about this in a series that we do on my Instagram called Opinions No One Asked For. And I talked about how I think a lot of people are struggling to become more relatable because in the Instagram influencer space, like for a really long time, you got by on like aesthetic photos and good captions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was before stories came out too, so you never had to show your personality. And then stories
Right,
come
yeah.
out and people are like, you're boring as fuck.
kinda more
and they're like,
day-to-day,
I don't
right.
really care about your curated, filtered 8 times photo anymore. Like, I want to see you
Eating
with zit cream on your
breakfast or
face
whatever.
at
Yeah,
11
yeah,
p.m.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, like, so I think authenticity 100% is something that the world is trending towards at an alarmingly fast rate.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm here for it because I would rather everybody be themselves than be fake online.
Yeah, almost definitely. So the funny part about that was like if you follow like car channels or house things on Instagram where they have like 1 million followers, and then they start doing stories and it's just some like random dude doing a story. There's
Yeah, 100%. Well, because in like niche industries like that, like people literally grow those channels or those accounts, and there's so many people who don't have the ability to recognize like that's what's going on. Like if you're not in the marketing world, you have no idea like about any of the strategies that have been used on you. Like, did you guys watch the Tesla reveal, the Tesla truck reveal?
Yeah.
About how he threw the thing and it smashed the window?
they did that on purpose.
Yeah, okay, yes. So I was driving to Red Deer last week to go visit my best friend, and like we were driving, and my guy friend Gage, who co-hosts the podcast with me, he was like, did you see that it like broke the window and blah 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 blah? And I was like, Gage, this is 100% a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Like literally in a couple days they're gonna do like another one or like a viral marketing campaign of people throwing shit at this Tesla and like nothing happening and all of this stuff. And he was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. We get to Red Deer, 4 hours later they put out the new video, and he was like, you were right. And I was like, of course I was right. Like it's so easy to like see it if you're in it, but if you're not involved, you can't understand that.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy.
No, when you kind of have that filter, you look at the world, right? And you, for better or for worse, you kind of see someone doing something online like that, and you're like, oh, I see what they're doing, or you roll your eyes at it, or maybe you're like, that's a good idea, or anywhere in between, right? So what was the follow-up video for Tesla? I actually didn't see.
There's a Twitter video of them just launching the same ball at like the piece of glass, and it was all good.
Was it the one in the laboratory or something like that?
I think so.
Because I did see one where it was supposedly a video from before or something. I don't know, their initial test.
No, it was literally exactly what I just described.
Guys, they got us because we're talking about
pranked.
That is also true though.
Yeah,
that is also
absolutely
true, and that's just how marketing works.
Yeah,
there you go.
You'd think the horrendous design would be enough to get people talking, but
yeah, I don't know.
They
about
did that too. So
I don't love the sport car truck. Like even like the Lamborghini truck.
Yeah.
What?
One of those almost ran me over in Montreal.
Okay.
I was
You know what?
This would be a good guy to sue, I guess.
Literally, at least you know you could
and
definitely
no,
win.
what if it's a baller buster guy?
It's a rental.
Then you're fucked.
But like, I don't know. I don't understand like sports car companies, like high-end sports car companies that are like, let's make a family-friendly SUV.
Yeah.
What?
It's the minivan by another name.
Literally.
There you go.
Literally.
It's a cool minivan.
That's
a
what
tough
it is.
minivan.
They look dumb.
Yeah.
They look dumb.
Got the kid's car or the kid's seat in the back. And
I mean, I drove here in an SUV, so thanks, guys. But
yeah, fuck your SUV. No, I'm just
Yeah. I actually would fuck with an SUV. I just drive a car right now.
kidding. That was my first
the
car too. So.
the amount of storage space is very useful. So I don't know.
I honestly need that because the amount of times that like I'll shoot all of my content in one day. So like my back seat, I've had times where I've had both soft boxes, my tripod, my like 18 outfits. Like I had to put my back seat down so I could like fit things into my trunk, into my back seat.
Yeah.
And then you also have to get to your place, and then you have to change in your car. And like there are so many times where I'm like, I wish I had an SUV because
I do miss it sometimes for sure.
Who's laughing now?
Functional back seat.
yes, 100%. The functional back seat is everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We're hyping you up, and you're just like,
we're old enough that I'm kind of over the in the backseat thing personally. I don't know.
I just moved out like 2 days ago. So.
Wait, are you talking about sex?
Yes, that's what is his joke.
Oh, that went right over my head. Oh my God, Kate. First of all, fuck car sex. It's the worst.
Our audience will
Thank
get
you.
it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a very
both
Josh
of you.
joke. Yeah.
No, sex in the backseat is the fucking worst in any car.
See,
In
I
any
always
car.
we talk
Nope.
about this. 'Cause
Did you just say no?
Nope.
Oh,
Josh does it all the time, and I'm like, man,
all the time.
aren't we a little old? Like,
Bus thrown under.
yeah.
How old are you? 26?
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How old do you want me to be?
I stopped having like sex in a car like at 19.
13.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
fucking God.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's cold. There's no room.
Unless you have an SUV.
Unless you.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't care. I want to know the breakdown now.
I think everybody does. This is a secret sauce, you know.
All right. Step 1.
Follow me on my premium Snapchat account.
We're talking about premium Snapchat over on my podcast. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, there
We
you
have
go.
a special. We have
were,
a special.
or you're going
nope,
to be?
We were going to be. We have a special guest.
Oh.
Who does
Did
premium
someone?
Snapchats.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Very excited for that.
Is it gonna be
Interesting.
anonymous,
Anonymous.
or are they? Okay.
Everybody's anonymous on the podcast except for Gage.
Okay.
He doesn't get privacy.
So no videos.
No
Yeah.
videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
No videos.
No
I do want to
exposure.
start doing video stuff though in 2020.
Okay.
But also though, because I talk about so many people,
Hmm.
it's like, how am I gonna do that without them all coming for my neck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, podcasting by definition is kind of just talking shit on the internet. So I don't know. It'll come back
I'm
eventually.
surprised that it hasn't ruined my life yet, but it has ruined Gage's life, my co-host.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Did he get like fired from his job or something?
no,
or?
I'm surprised
Okay.
I haven't got fired from my job. But so we do a series called He Said She Said, where like
Right.
I do the female
Yeah.
perspective and he does the male perspective. So we
Okay.
did one on the friend zone and we did one on ghosting.
Yeah.
And so in the podcast, Gage is very like self-deprecating, and
Okay.
so during the podcast he was like, "Oh, I'm so fucking lonely," blah 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 blah. But like he had gone out on like 6 dates that week, so he's like
Sounds
doing
like a
all
guy
this,
we would.
he's like doing all this like self-deprecating humor
Yeah.
and all this stuff, and apparently one of the girls that he was seeing follows me on Instagram. This is like
But by sheer coincidence, sort of thing.
Yes.
Or? Okay.
And so I posted that it was out, all of this stuff. Apparently she listened to the podcast and like that whole episode was about a completely different girl.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I can't believe you said those things about me." She left him a voicemail, like a 3-minute long voicemail.
I love those.
Oh yeah.
3-minute long voicemail being like, "I can't fucking believe you said you were lonely when I'm right here. Like you wanted to meet my parents, blah, blah, blah." And Gage was like, so
Yeah.
it was like such a shit show. He has a really nice girlfriend now, but
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I was like, this is so funny because I've like ripped people to shreds on my podcast and
Yeah.
no one has said shit. And like you come on here for your 3rd episode and like people are burning your house down. So
Yeah.
That's too funny.
It's coming for us eventually, I'm sure. I don't know. We're also
I feel like
self-employed, so
this one
like
might get you into a lot of trouble.
yeah.
Nah, I'm like the Tesla glass.
Wait.
Bulletproof.
Tesla glass at what phase? Pre or post marketing Tesla glass? You know what? Here's the thing though, is I get very like fuckboy energy from you.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So I'm not
I've
surprised.
never heard that before. Why?
You know what the thing is though? We talked about this in my Girl Next Door podcast. Is like I said previously, men are like literally the easiest to manipulate, but people don't understand it. I did a
This is true.
Yeah, yeah.
I did a
For
podcast
sure.
recently called "Are We Fucking on the First Date?" where
Yeah.
I went on 8 dates in 8 days, just with like random fucking people, and got
Just
them
as
to
like a social experiment?
just
or?
as a social
Oh,
experiment,
wow, okay.
and then like did and did not sleep with some of them just to see what would happen, and so there was one guy that I hooked up with, and it was Halloween next week, and I got like a $500 e-transfer for funsies. And there's other guys that I hooked up with that like dropped their credit card after sex, and like some guys I don't talk to anymore, and blah blah blah. So I was like, you know what? Men are so easily manipulated by so many factors, like
so-
the patriarchy. Ain't
has-
shit. It's
he
the
has-
matriarchy.
He has so many questions.
Yeah, so with
Men
that
are the weaker sex. That is the
Oh,
overarching thing.
guys are pretty easy to manipulate. I wouldn't argue that point. I don't know about you.
I'm
You know what?
pretty difficult to manipulate.
Yeah, okay,
Kate,
so
can I actually say something before we
Yeah,
get into
yeah,
that?
yes.
He thinks he's hard to manipulate because he's the fuckboy, and I understand that because I am at the same level of fuckboyness.
We on the same level.
okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
the
I see what you're
the
saying.
thing is, like, you can't finesse a fuckboy. Like, if you know the game, you can't. You figure it out.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am the game.
That's the thing. Like, there's this one guy who like ghosted me, and I didn't even fucking acknowledge it. And 3 days ago, he was like, hey, like, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, I ghosted you. Could you please
He literally was
say
like,
something about
he
this?
literally was
Yeah.
like, oh, like, even though I've been like the ghostiest ghost, and I was like, I knew you'd come back. It's not a fucking big deal. And he was like, what? And I was like,
I'm Casper.
Yeah.
This is a
So
friendly ghost.
So I should have listened to that episode because I saw the headline. It was a good clickbaity headline, but I didn't listen to it yet.
clickbait
But-
headlines are the theme on my podcast.
Oh yeah, that's
We
what
need
you
to
got to
work
do.
on ours.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever top my favorite one is episode 6, Don't Eat Pussy in the Club. My best.
Wow, I am so curious about that story. So
Exactly.
Okay, so your 8 dates in 8 days.
Yes.
Did you go into them with a predetermined outcome of, okay, today I'm going to ghost this guy no matter what. Today I'm going to sleep with this guy no
Okay.
matter what. Or was it kind of
Good question.
authentic, and then you
Good
would
question.
retroactively be like, okay, I'm going to do this
It was
now.
100% authentic because the
Yeah.
first 3 dates were like I thought they were just dates.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I just went into the mindset with, okay, like I'm just going on a couple dates like in the podcast. So the Saturday, I was supposed to hang out with a guy who like would not commit to plans. So I was like, I'm fucking over it. So I cut him off. I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to go home and like do shit. So I hit up Tinder and I like fucked a stranger. And I was like, okay, cool. Sunday rolls around. I went on a date with another guy. And I was like, okay, cool. This is like kind of fun. The date was awful. We don't talk anymore. But then I was like sitting in my office at work and some other guy hit me up and he like works at a place where they had an influencer event and I wasn't invited. So I jokingly like slid into the DM and I was like, is this the part where I complain about not being invited to like the opening? And he was like, let me make it up to you. Like, I'll take you out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. And so we did that night. And so this was now 3 days in a row where like I went on like a date and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I started talking to like another person and then we hung out on the Tuesday and then I like was determined after that. I was like, I need to see how long I can like make this last.
Oh, okay, I got
So
you.
then
Yeah.
it like it only really occurred to me to do a podcast episode on it like 6 dates in because I was like, this is I've never done this in my life.
Yeah.
like 6 days in 6 days is ridiculous.
Oh, for sure.
So then I went up to 9 days of dates.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, cool. And then I sat down and I reflected on it about, okay, so this, I broke it down in the podcast, but I was like, okay, so on Tuesday I had sex with this guy. Tuesday is a good example, actually. So for my first Tuesday date, he's a pilot. So he was just in town and we hooked up. It was great. Best sex of my life. Like rearranged my insides. Amazing. He left for like a month and a half. And then this Monday he was back in town. So we hooked up again. So like that is like I guess a long-term outcome of that is like we still talk type of thing versus like the Monday, like the business guy, I hit him up and I was like, yo, I'm coming to your bar. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, set me up with a tab, all this stuff. Like, that was it. And then there's other people that I went on just dates with, like, just dates. And we didn't even, like, kiss or anything. And I ghosted them and we don't talk anymore. So
Okay.
it just kind of, it wasn't like a predetermined thing. Like, I wasn't like, I'm going to go fucking ruin 9 dudes' lives.
Yeah. But you did 3 days, and then you were like,
And then
oh,
I
I
was
guess
like,
this is the thing. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah.
I needed some excitement in my life,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
so,
Gotcha.
yeah, it kind of depends. Like, I had positive outcomes from, like, 90% of them. So,
I think you can learn from everybody.
So, have you ever been, backpedaling a little bit, have you ever been like full on catfished? Or something close to a catfish?
Guy was 50 pounds heavier when he showed up. This has happened to me.
I feel like, yes, but it's, like, so buried in the back of my head that it's going to take me a minute to, like, think about it. Because,
I mean, clearly it wasn't that bad.
Memorable.
Yeah,
I
or
don't
memorable.
think it was that bad.
Or so traumatic that you have now repressed
You know what the thing
it
is,
and we're
though? Like,
bringing it up again.
Honestly.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, like, if it does not go well, I don't even give it time in my head. Like, I couldn't even tell you, I could not even tell you, like, the last 3 dates I went on recently, unless they were good ones. Like, the pilot, that's it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, I managed to hook up with all of my side dicks this week. I don't remember half of them. Like, if it's not good,
Yeah.
in like any sense, like if the sex is not good, if the date is not good, if the conversation is not good, if any of it is bad, I don't even remember your name.
Just forget about it. Yeah. No, that's pretty fair. I mean, honestly, right? So,
I don't know.
what
I
about
don't
you,
know what you guys are talking
Joshua?
about. I'm a virgin.
I want to hear about your catfish
Yeah,
story.
tell us.
No, it was just like the girl was very enthusiastic, which is always a bad sign.
What do you mean?
Especially if you meet on like a dating app and like they're very, very enthusiastic.
I feel like that's me on dating
I
apps.
don't know. Anyway,
I feel like
Well,
it's going
maybe if you're doing one of your
I don't
social
know.
experiments, I don't know.
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
I've
then
acquired a few sugar daddies from it.
yeah. We'll get into this
Oh
too.
yeah.
Because
let's-
I also have like this thing about seeking arrangement that
I
is
recently
interesting.
just got a seeking arrangement, so I guess we'll talk about it.
All
Okay.
right, very good. Coming
Alrighty.
up after the break. Okay.
Interesting. All right. No, anyway, I just showed up to like the.
Okay, wait, no, you did not explain why enthusiasm was a bad thing.
Well, no, like her pictures were good, but she was like overly enthusiastic for how she looked.
Keep going.
Anyway, so I had this bad feeling about it before I showed up to the bar, and I think like we met up that night after we had started talking in the morning. We met up that night.
Can I like pop a little thing in there?
Sure.
I think that's the best way to go.
Really?
Maybe.
Okay. I was gonna ask you that
don't-
question. Yeah.
I don't think that you should talk to somebody for like 4 or 5 days and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
go on a date with them, because you run out of things to talk about. You meet in person and
Sure.
you're like, do I even like this person anymore? Like
Yeah.
I will go a max like 2 days
Mm-hmm.
before we go on a date.
Would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I also try to get the phone on dating apps. Not really into this anymore, but get the phone number and yeah. Get it.
Depends who's listening.
No, like try to get off of the dating app as soon as possible too.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Boys
Anyway.
my age don't understand that.
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a boy.
Shut up.
My vagina just made the windows shut down noise.
Which one? Windows 95, 97, XP, which one?
My skin is crawling.
Anyway, and I show up to the bar and she's just probably 20, 30 pounds over what her pictures were. And I looked at her and I was like, okay, I'll buy you a drink. We'll talk and we'll see how your personality is. But I mean, just didn't work.
Exposing himself as extremely narcissistic.
Yeah.
A little bit.
For our frequent listeners, this is no
They know.
surprise in the
Yeah,
story. So
yeah,
They've
Yeah.
been new. You can tell
Yeah.
by his hair.
yeah, it's great. All right, let's take a pause here and
Let's
we'll.
do it.
All right.
On my own podcast, if you ever
Nice.
want to listen to my misfortunes.
Okay, welcome back to Carly v. Josh, chapter 2.
That is what I feel like. I feel like it's like who can be the bigger fuckboy.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, when's the last time you went on 9 dates in 9 days? You know what? You know what's different though is he'd have to pay for all
I was
of them.
about to say that would be
That's true,
that
yeah.
was just 9 times. You just had to commit the time,
That's
but that's
it.
like
Yeah, that's very true.
I was chilling.
yeah.
There's like definitely a difference between men
Yeah.
and women when it comes to that aspect for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's say
For
what
me-
were the dates? Like
Yeah,
drinks,
yeah,
coffee, where
Okay, so in my Tinder bio, it says let's go for cocktails cuz like I fucking love cocktails. Like
Sure.
and I don't drink coffee.
Mhm.
So I'm like not the bitch to be like let's go on a coffee date. Like I'm like let's go get drinks.
yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I fucking
So-
hate coffee dates so much.
They're
anyways.
bullshit
Yeah,
I
anyways.
disagree, but okay.
always drink. Yeah.
So like I feel like a cocktail date is so easy. You literally just like go,
hmm
you get cocktails and blah blah blah. The only thing is then they start asking me, they're like, oh, like what's your favorite cocktail? Where should we go? And then they start suggesting things like fucking Beercade or Hudson's, and I'm like, that's not a cocktail. And then I go, oh my god, there's so many like great cocktail like places in the city. Like we should go to one of those. And they're like, okay, and they don't know what they're getting themselves into. So we roll up to a cocktail bar that's like $18 a cocktail, and
This is why I do coffee.
and then like, but the
There's a
thing is
point.
though, I never go in expecting them to pay for me.
Oh, yeah?
That's the thing. Is like I
Alright.
would never go into a date expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also, like, I'm not, like, that big of a bitch. Like, I'll be like, I kind of want to go here, like, blah, 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 check out the menu type of thing. I'm not going to, like, bring them into woodwork and be like,
Yeah.
buy me this $80 fucking...
Yeah, meet me at the Hotel McDonald bar, whatever it's called.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I did go on a date to the JW.
Yeah.
And that was really, really good. Didn't pay for it, but it was really good.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
So point being,
What were, like,
for
what was
the guy to do that 9 days in a row, that would be
Expensive.
9 times 40, 50, 60 bucks.
Yeah,
So
probably about $50.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
$450. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the thing is, too, though, like I said before, is I never go into it expecting it to be
Yeah.
him paying for me the whole time.
Do you know why I do coffee though? Is because it's like this like low commitment, like do we hate each other type of thing. Because you can sit
That's
there.
the litmus test. Do we hate each other?
Yeah,
or not?
well, really,
Yeah.
you sit there for. I mean, and it's pretty non-committal
Yeah, like an
too.
hour.
You
For
can
sure.
run after an hour. You could. Be,
Mhm.
I've had coffee dates that went on for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
You can do that with cocktails, too.
I suppose, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just what you're drinking in the cup.
Yeah.
mm,
I like the atmosphere and layout of like a bar better, personally. So
I don't. I like a cocktail bar, like a specifically designed cocktail bar.
like where?
Like Dosk, like...
Okay, yeah. No, Dosk
that
is
is
good.
also a coffee shop.
It is, but half of it is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, like Dosk is good. I like Malt and Mortar on
White Ave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of that. Yeah. No,
Um,
I don't mean
that
like
kinda-
fucking.
I literally was like, let's go for cocktails, and this guy was like, let's go to Beercade, and I was like, absolutely fucking not.
Was
like-
he 19 years old?
I think he was like 21.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I was like,
That's what they know. Like you know, the
which, okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that is also like a weakness that I consistently exploit is they
Guys
don't they
younger
don't
than
know no that they don't know anything about cocktails.
Oh
So
yeah.
and then they're like, oh sure, like let's do this, and then they end up liking it. So like in their head, they're like, oh, like this is like really cool, but I still get to do what I want. Like I wanted to go on the cocktail date,
Mm.
but then when they enjoy it, I've like tricked them into thinking like that was a date they wanted to go on.
Okay.
You know, so
Fair enough.
Yeah. Gaslighting your victims, I guess. I don't know. So
I had one date where I showed up. I was late. I generally am never late.
yeah.
And I showed up because I had a bunch of work to do, and my office was only like 5 minutes away from the place we were meeting. And I texted him, and I was like, I really have to get these things up, blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody in my office was taking the Rika, and it was a shit show. It was so bad. And so I was leaving. I was late, and I was like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's okay. And so I show up, and he's like, also, like, wine was on special. I got you a bottle of wine. Like, I know you told me you liked XYZ. And I was like, okay, fuck, lit. That's lit. I didn't even have to say anything. I just showed up, and he bought me wine.
There you go.
Right? So,
There you go. So, where were we starting off with this though? The
he wanted to know about seeking arrangements.
oh yeah, okay. So, or you said something about that
Yeah. In that, I think it's an untapped resource
for guys.
What do you
for
mean?
dudes. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Well, here's the thing though, is like, so women catfish on looks, men
catfish on money.
damn straight.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
So, as an experiment, I did a like
An
zero.
experiment.
I've never used it, but I used it as an experiment. I did I think I had a net worth of like $50 million or something.
Oh, where it was
Zero pictures.
We did
Okay,
this as
yeah,
like a
but
group
all
chat.
of them
So
don't have photos.
yeah.
Like literally 90% of them. Also, I signed up with my university email.
Whoops.
No. So I signed up with my university email because they encourage it, and you get like upgraded to like all these features.
Really?
on Seeking. I was like, what
Why
the hell?
would they?
Because like the premise of it is it's
It looks
these
more. I
people
guess it's more
who
real,
are-
right?
well,
It's
yes.
not at Gmail. So
yes, but also the premise behind Seeking is like the company itself wants like these high caliber men to be matched with like also high caliber like women. So they take it into account that if you have an education type of thing, like a university level education, like you're more desirable, I guess, which is why like they encourage you to do that. So if you are in university
Yeah.
and you use the email, you get benefits.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know. it's-
Gotcha. Yeah.
I was just amazed at how blown up that account got with zero photos and like one line of like, "Wanna be discreet."
Really?
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
It was like pretty.
No, I remember this.
subpar effort.
And yeah, there's
It was mostly
actually, if anything, there's a little bit of a tilt of the scales in the online dating world that favors women, for sure.
What?
But on Seeking Arrangement, it seems to be the other way around, probably because there's so many fake profiles of dudes trying to see if their girlfriend's on there.
But here's the thing, too, though, is like, if I wanted to do it, I would just take a girl out for a drink or whatever, and then be like, if it went somewhere, it went somewhere. If it didn't, it didn't. And I wasn't going to drop $5,000 on the date. No.
Okay, so also, though, the whole reason that, like, seeking arrangements hasn't been, like, a big thing for me is, have you guys ever taken the love languages?
I know what they are.
We were on a
Our
podcast
friends who also podcast explain them to us or whatever. So,
Yeah.
So, like, basically, there's, like, the 5 love languages and all of this stuff, and, like, one of them is gifts. So, my love language for gifts is 0 out of 12.
Right.
Like, I don't care.
Oh, there's actually, like, a test that you
there's
take?
a test.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, my love language for gifts is 0 out of 12. So, like, when I go on Seeking, it's not, like, in my head, because I don't give a fuck about gifts. Like, if I were to see that, I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay. You know?
Right.
Like, I want to form the relationship first and then have, like, the money come in second versus, like, 90% of girls are the opposite.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why, like, I'm not easily swayed by shit like that. But, like, I know so many people who are, and that's where Seeking comes in, like, very handy for men.
Yeah.
Because they can, like, flash their assets
Yes.
on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I was also on Baller Busters.
Yeah, exactly. At Baller Busters.
Yeah, the account was just
Josh _ Blaze. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
We have had some conversations about this because it is like essentially a flipping of the script.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Still, I don't know. I'm just, like, so not about it. I had this guy find me on Tinder who found my Snapchat, who, like, wanted to talk to me so bad. He's probably sent me, like, $3,000
That's insane.
just for...
Like, I guess they e-transfer
Yep.
because we don't have Venmo or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
he just hit me with an e-transfer. This is what I was talking about when I went out on Halloween and I posted my Halloween costume. And he was like, oh my god, he looks so fucking good. And then I got an e-transfer.
Jesus Christ.
I don't...
See, this
I
just,
don't know.
to me, this doesn't like,
this does
compute.
not compute,
Yeah.
Okay,
right? So,
yeah, but the thing is, too, is that was literally only about the money.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't see it as gifts, I was like, I mean, I posted that on my public story and you still want to send me money? Like,
Yeah.
all
sure.
right, yeah.
I guess
So-
there's customers, and then there's
Suckers.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say I think
yeah.
the customer is the sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Huh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't, like, frankly, as guys who do, at the very least, not bad with women, it just doesn't compute.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. It does not compute to be like,
You
I
know,
need
oh
to
my
send this
God.
chick $1,000 because
Yeah.
she posted
Literally.
this. Yeah,
You know what I literally just Have you ever seen Road to El Dorado?
Yes.
I don't remember it.
You remind me so much of the one character in Road to El Dorado.
Looks wise or
both like personality and looks wise. I need to find it because it,
I don't think I've ever seen this
Show me
movie.
the picture
actually.
of the guy. I have seen the movie.
I
yeah.
know one of them has long blonde hair and the other one looks kind of like Josh now that I think about it.
yes.
Oh,
You look like Tulio.
Tulio. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's
Sans ponytail.
the same, but it's the same kind of personality because they're both like that, like lady killer type of vibe in the
Okay.
movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I literally haven't seen Road to El Dorado since I was like 12.
I actually
but-
don't think I've ever seen that movie. I but I know
saw
what it is.
Yeah, I
but
saw it like once
anyways.
or twice. Yeah. I was thinking more Empire's New Groove or Emperor's New Groove.
You also give me Cusco vibes,
Cusco.
Okay.
or the llama in Emperor's New Groove. Also that one.
The llama's
But
the beauty,
llama
though.
isn't the llama
Cusco?
Cusco?
Isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
but like I'm saying, like in both forms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd have to rewatch that movie.
Well, Disney Plus is
Yeah,
alive
yeah,
and
yeah.
well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Is that on there? Do you know?
I think it
Anyone know?
is. I
Emperor's
think it
New
is.
Is that
Yeah.
a Disney movie?
It's like a show and a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, they did have a show for
Mm-hmm. Emperor's New School, bitches.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But they were kind of anyways.
Family Channel.
Yes.
So
Family Channel before it turned into like when it was all cartoons before it
Yeah.
turned into all live action shows.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah, that was after our time. maybe more your time, and then like yeah, I have a sister who's a decent bit younger than me, so kind of got glimpses of those shows coming up or whatever. So because now they're all fucking singers or whatever, but they were
that's
all
like
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough about Family Channel. Back to dicks and vaginas. So
Love that. Amazing. Wholesome content.
Get the listens up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, shit. Should go back because we had a good something we were gonna riff on before your catfish story. What do you remember what it was? I think Carly asked you something.
I don't know.
Let me think.
There's gonna be like a roasting session, I think.
Wants to
Maybe.
wants to move on. But,
No, I'm here.
yeah.
I can take it.
Yeah. So, but one thing is so you're kind of the same as him, where you want to like escalate, let's say, off the dating app relatively shortly, right?
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that you should be talking to someone for like a week before you go out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Like, some of my best dates have been, hey, do you want to hang out, blah, 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 I'm free tonight or tomorrow, and me being like, let's hang out tonight, and like going for coffee and like hanging out.
Okay.
There's
yeah.
the coffee again.
There you go.
You know what? So that explanation was based off of an actual like date.
Yeah.
Where we did go for coffee.
Yeah.
So
There you
I
go.
haven't done it since.
I think that I'm not a huge texter. I don't like that as a form of communication, I would say.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like you can convey so much more in a phone call or
Okay,
just
you know
in
what?
person.
I'll give you that. Okay,
Yeah.
so my biggest pet peeve is poor communication.
Right.
It's so easy to talk in 2019.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah.
Like, if
And if you're bad at it, what the fuck are you doing?
okay, no, but the thing is, no one is bad at it. Everyone is choosing not to reply, which says more than what they ever could text you, type of thing.
Could be.
You know what I mean?
As a
And
busy man.
Yeah. We're all self-employed. We're not going to have a schedule content test
yeah, but
here.
I'm self-employed too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So
I'm-
you were included
Oh,
in
okay.
that statement.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing is, though, is like I'm busy as fuck, and like I still have fucking time to
I guess.
shoot.
Oh yeah.
Like,
No, I feel
it's
that.
not that hard.
Yeah.
And
I'm dating a girl that like works.
you were dating someone?
She's a pharmacist. She works and like
Oh,
not
she's a
available
pharmacist?
throughout
Oh,
the
damn.
whole day, and it's great because you like call at like 8:30. You talk and then you go to sleep.
So I'm a big proponent for the phone call.
Yeah.
I love the phone call.
Yeah.
And if it's like that, if it's like communication like that, like I totally fine.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be texting me all day. Just like we have to at least have some type of meaningful interaction at some point in that day. It can't just be like, hey, how are you? How are you? Blah, 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 blah. We go 8 hours without talking. Like, okay, I'm going to bed. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't like to text. Like, the lack of communication or like shitty communication is what I care about overall. So as soon as someone starts having like terrible communication with me, like it's game over.
Right.
I don't talk to them because why would I be putting effort into someone who will not give the same effort back to me?
Yeah.
You get cut from the roster
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
quick.
Absolutely.
100%.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same page.
Yeah. I don't know.
For once.
It's but I don't know. I'm kind of the same where I just don't love texting or that
No.
I don't know. It depends on the day and my mood or something, but sometimes when you're talking to a chick, or and this probably goes both ways, but I get there's some chicks where I talk to and it's like, "Okay, we don't need to text back and forth constantly all day," sort of thing. Like we'll hang out when we see each other, sort of thing. So
I think it depends on like what they do for like a job too.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Like the guy that I'm talking to that's a pilot, like
Yeah.
my dude is not going to be
You better
fucking,
hope he's
he's not texting me when he's flying a plane.
Texting and
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah, exactly. do those laws apply?
Who knows?
Distracted
But
driving?
like stuff like that makes sense versus like other jobs like where you just sit at a desk all day. Like my two best friends like both work desk jobs, so we're constantly in our group chat like talking.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it's easy to do that in the job environment versus like guys that I'm seeing that are like in the trades, that
yeah.
like cannot be texting me
Oh,
while
yeah.
wielding like a power tool. You know what I mean? It's just like the
Wielding the power tool. No, I get what you're saying.
It's
Absolutely.
just like the
yeah.
understanding
Yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
the
So all
balance.
things are case by case, I guess, right? So.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was talking to this guy who had fucking horrendous texting habits. Who
Like would use you, the letter U instead of YOU sort of thing.
Oh,
or-
I do that. So
Oh, okay.
that's not what I
I
meant.
do that as a joke, but yeah.
Never mind.
No, but what I mean is like he was like limited employed, so like he didn't work all the time, and his like texting so fucking sucked. I was like, what are you doing? Like, because I know you're not doing anything.
For sure. For
So
sure.
like, what's going on here? And then we had sex, and it was horrible. So now we don't talk anymore. But
You have something to say?
I was just gonna say, I always laugh at the girls who are like, "I'm so busy, bitch. I know you're just watching Netflix."
Yeah.
dude, I am actually busy.
yeah. You, I believe.
No,
you,
I
but-
believe you,
Yeah,
but like,
no, I
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I
and
totally
then
know what you
I
mean.
get
Yeah.
that, and even multifaceted, where yeah, you're like, if you're a 20-something-year-old chick, I know you have your phone in your hand
Yes,
all
all the
day.
time.
Like,
Yeah. It's an extension.
come on,
Extension of
like,
yourself.
let's all be honest here, right? So yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's what I find is like a big tell is if the communication sucks, then you know it's not
It's true.
not going anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
I think people are also, they can be different on text versus like having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's seriously one of the compliments that I get a lot of the time is you're the same texting as you are in person or whatever. And I'm like, people are different.
That's
Doesn't-
something I also don't understand.
Yeah, it
'cause, like,
doesn't occur to me.
like I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, like I'm the same bitch 24/7. So like
yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me when some people are really good at texting
Yeah.
and they're in like or their in person is horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like they're like
Or if I-
overly confident over text message, and then when you
That
meet
is
them,
always a problem.
yeah, that's like that's a real thing for sure.
I
Yeah.
find a lot of the time, you know what? I won't say it like that. So in my experience, a lot of the time it's like with guys being like overconfident over text,
Yeah,
like trying to be smooth and all this stuff because they have the time to think about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
And like
but in person, they're
because I'm like my personality is very extroverted and like very like bulldozery. We meet them and we hang out, or I meet them and we hang out, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because
Yeah.
like they can combat it in text because like they have the
time to think, rewrite
and then,
it.
Yeah, and then in person it's just like completely different, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And then I'm like, "What happened?
Yeah.
How do we
Yeah.
go from this to this?"
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it low key ruins everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
that's a real thing for
Yeah.
sure.
Speaking, but going back to the wanting to talk in person or being better in person, like we're also, you and I are in sales, right? That's kind of what we do is coerce people in person to
Yep.
do what we want. So yeah,
Yeah, and so I totally feel that too, is because like I've always been doing like public eye stuff that I'm just like better at it. Like before I was in business school, I was a musical theater major, and then
okay.
like I like low key mentioned earlier, like I cheered in the CFL, so
Right.
I did that for like a year,
Okay.
and
yeah.
then I went to business school into marketing, and marketing is literally just fucking talking to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And all of that stuff. And so, and then because I danced competitively for 14 years too, you learn how to be a performer, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it just helps with interactions. So I've never had anxiety about going on a date and like talking to someone and like trying to get like my point across, because like that's just how I grew up, which is like very similar to you guys in your jobs. Like talking to people is not scary.
No,
You know what I mean?
Especially when you do it
the time.
regularly,
All the
right?
time.
So
Well, it's
you get
desensitization.
kind of over
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly.
you get
So
desensitized to
you
it.
get
for
used
sure.
to it. Yeah, the new stimulus.
You ever remember like your first ever date where you were just super terrified, like super nervous? No.
But
I don't think I've ever
define
been.
first date though, right? Because
Yeah.
No, like your
dating in
first
like a
ever
date
Like
or
I'm talking like when you were like 15.
yeah, but
I met
in-
I met my fiance at 15. My
Okay.
fiancé.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Because but dating in high school or whatever, it's just kind of hanging out. You don't really have any expectation
Yeah.
of let's go to a fancy cocktail bar or whatever. You just
I don't
do
think I've
whatever
ever.
weird shit.
I don't think I've ever been nervous.
Really?
Honestly, it's just like not. This ties back into like my whole thing about like if you never ask, the answer's always no. Like I literally grew up being like, we gotta experience it one way or another.
True.
You know, so like I've never been nervous about it
Mm-hmm.
ever. So
I have.
Have you
really, tell us more.
recently or just your first ones?
No. Like I'm talking like when I was like 17 or 18. Like
Aww.
get a number from the bar and like.
Wholesome.
That's
17?
Oh yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You were one of those.
No, you never went to the bar with a.
Nope.
Yeah.
I was a straight shooter.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a saint.
Our birthdays are the same month, so we turned 18 kind of early
That's
of the
so
grade 12
cute.
crowd. So when we went to the bar for our like 18th birthdays,
What bar did you go to?
Oil City, obviously.
Hell yeah.
Don't even need to ask. So, would you have
you have
gotten
experience?
experience? I was
It
about to
wasn't
say,
Oil City.
yeah.
No.
There is nothing that will recreate the magic that was
Oil City Roadhouse.
So, yeah,
It's not just because we had never gone to a bar before.
definitely not. It was something else.
Okay, now, but everyone's gonna say that about the ranch now for like my generation.
Probably.
The
yeah.
the ranch when it first opened was like,
Yeah.
Bumpin'.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
hear
yeah.
Midway is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Now that it's rebranded.
I am listening.
I haven't got to a bar in a long time. So.
Yeah.
Kinda grandpa.
I don't know. My cousin is coming from he is from LA but lives in New York, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out when I'm in Edmonton." I was like, "You literally live in the two cities that have like the best nightlife.
Yeah.
Like what am I gonna offer you, pre-bay?" And he gets like bottle service every single
Right.
time he goes to a club, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Do not waste your money on Edmonton bottle service.
Yeah.
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 Don't do it."
Okay.
So-
Interesting. Well, I mean, I think the nightlife is really only good in those cities if you can afford it, or
Yeah.
you have the status or whatever.
Yeah,
Because the
connections.
best club in LA, you're competing with
Literal
celebrities, literally super famous people to get in,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. So I was like, we can go out, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm gonna take you.
I mean, it could still be fun, right? Like,
I'm
it's,
sure it'll
you
still
know,
be fun,
so,
but
yeah.
like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, maybe he'll like that it's not, because those would be pretty like posh crowds that he's used to being around.
He has
right?
gotten, today is Sunday.
Yeah.
He has gone out for bottle service Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. So.
That, yeah. Wow. I mean, good for him, but
He also like is in the U.S. military.
oh,
So
okay, gotcha. So when he
that
gets
is an
time
added
off,
layer
it like
to it.
goes hard, sort of thing, or what?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Like he's in like a military academy.
Mm.
So he goes to West Point in New York, and
Yep.
so they do like it is the military, but you also get a degree and all this stuff. But he's
Yep.
on a soccer scholarship, so he has a professional contract or what. I don't fucking watch soccer. He
Neither do we. So.
he has an offer to play pro. So instead of serving in the military, he's gonna play pro soccer
Okay.
type of thing.
Cool. Good
But
for
he
him.
still has to dedicate those however many years because they didn't.
You can't be like, oh, I quit, or never mind.
The U.S. will repo you.
Yeah, got a
Yeah.
new. Sorry, guys, got a better opportunity.
Literally.
Best regards.
I mean, he has Canadian citizenship, so he could maybe get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
So on that note, you posted something recently about moving, or you mentioned moving, and you said something about the States the other day on.
Oh yeah,
Instagram, or-
I'm leaving the country
All right.
Oh,
in 8 months.
oh, why?
So I don't know, just like for all the things that I do,
Mm-hmm.
there's just more opportunity in the States. Like I'm getting to the point where I want to work with brands and companies, but they don't do operations in Canada.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna miss out on this money or like this opportunity or like these connections type of thing. So I was like, if I can do it, I might as well. So I have an
Mhm.
immigration lawyer, really cool dude, and I don't know, the process is so much easier than I thought it was, which
Yeah.
is so surprising because everything I hear about U.S. immigration is like, it's so hard.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
It's been so easy for me,
Hmm.
and I'm so surprised. But yeah,
Mhm.
so I'm moving just to get more opportunities in my field to
Yeah.
be able to like also though with this call that I have later with this influencer, like something that I've said it like literally 500 times. I love contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment law, stuff like that. I'm like looking into applying to UCLA for their media, entertainment, and technology law program, and like getting my law degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that type of stuff, and it's so much easier to rep U.S. influencers while being in the U.S.
Sure.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, for sure.
And like it's trending towards me only representing like people with 1 million and up followings. So why would I limit myself to Edmonton when I could do that in LA? And I have family that lives there too, so it's like not too hard, but
Yeah.
that's kind of my plan is to move.
Okay, for sure. And you want to go more the route of like an agency, I guess, is what you just described?
Eventually I feel like I
Yeah.
do want to start an agency. Especially because like I want to go to law school to be
Right.
able to do all of those licensing contracts, to be able to submit all of these things, to have the knowledge about it so I can be more hands-on versus like a traditional agency that has to hire out a law firm to like look over their contracts and stuff like that. It's stuff that I love to do already. So why would I hire an external legal team to do it?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then I love the business aspect of influencing. So I was like, why not put it to use? Because like my friend Kyle, literally, I was like, how are you making no money on the internet? You have like 1 million engaged followers. Like one of his TikTok videos has 30 million views.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
When you
And
have eyes, you.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean
Do
you're not
something,
making
yeah,
money?
yeah.
I was like, I make more money than you. And like my audience is like,
Yeah. Right, a little disparity. Yeah.
so I was like, what the heck is going on? And so I want to be able to do that for other people because I just love the business process of it.
Sure.
On top of obviously like all of the fun aspects of social media. But like I'm such a nerd over like tech, analytics, data, stuff like that. Like I fucking love it. And to be able to do all of those things together is ideally what I want to do. So that's the plan.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
No, I like it. That's cool. It's yeah. I was curious to hear if it was. That was a very good answer. If you just wanted to go be an influencer somewhere else, just because LA seems to be the place to be, or
Well,
whatever.
that
for
also is like an
Yeah.
underlying part of it.
Yeah.
Is yes,
that.
but like so many people are like, I'm gonna move to LA and I'm gonna like become famous and like I'm gonna get like,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. It never works like that.
Yeah.
So like because I have an external interest in the atmosphere of the influencer marketing world, I think it'll just go over better for me. You know, I'll have more connections. I'll be able to meet more people. I'll be able to do what I like to do. And then by association, like continue my influencing career type of thing.
Gotcha.
Continue influencing, I guess is
Yeah.
what you would call it, right?
Yeah.
Influencering.
That's like when people ask me what I do, I'm like,
It's a very hard question to answer.
I work on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make videos.
Literally. I talk about sex online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There you go.
It's
it's
good.
fun.
Yeah.
Hey Bitches recently just got nominated for Outstanding Adult Podcast for the Canadian Podcasting Awards.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Damn. Good for you. Who? What administrative body does that
I have
actually?
no fucking idea.
They just contacted you and like,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
So-
There you go. Shit. So.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah. There you go. Good luck on that.
I'm gonna need it.
Yeah. Do you? Is it like a panel or something? Do you have any idea how they select? No.
No.
All right.
Sounds shady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just haven't looked into it.
All right. All right.
I haven't had time for that.
Hopefully they're not listening.
Hopefully
to
not.
This, so.
Hopefully not. We'll
but,
see. I don't think it's anything like too crazy, but it will look great on my visa
Yeah,
application.
absolutely.
There you go.
So actually, a question I have for you, because so your biggest following is Instagram, correct? So did you? And I'm always curious about this for any kind of person with a decent following, wherever it may be. Did you set out like I'm gonna have an Instagram following, I'm gonna be an influencer, or did you just post and organically grow and it kind of stumbled upon it rather, or somewhere down the
Kind of both.
Yeah.
So when I started my blog, so like that's where I started.
Okay.
So like
So what is your blog?
So the blog is college related. So like
Okay.
I know how to code a website. Like I love that kind of stuff. Like I love the like nerdy tech stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. I started a blog, and that's how I grew everything.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend. How old are you guys again? When did you graduate?
High school?
Yes.
2011.
Do you know Robin Jones? She would have been in grade 10 when you guys were in grade 12.
No. What high school did you go to?
I went to Skona,
Oh, okay.
but like you guys went to FX.
Yes.
Okay, but anyways.
Okay.
So
No idea.
my friend Robin.
That's a female Robin?
Yes. So she was an influencer too.
Okay.
And that's how I knew her. And so when we started talking, she had probably about 10K, and I had just started. I had like maybe 3,000 followers.
And was
this was in 2014.
Okay. Yeah.
I think. And so I was like, okay, cool. Like, I want to do this. And I learned everything about, like, blogging. So I was like, maybe I should transition. And this was before I could even, like, get smart about influencer stuff, which is still my biggest regret. Like, if I would have done all the stuff that I'm doing now 5 years ago, I'd be in a completely different place. I just, like, didn't know this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Enough to be able to, like, really, really research it. But, yeah, so then I did that for a really long time, like, trying to figure out my niche and everything.
Yeah.
And then I went into sports marketing, and I thought, like, what I wanted to do was, like, kind of more along the lines of that. And then I hated it. So I was like, now I got to figure something else out. And so now I'm in lifestyle, which is, like, the most broad niche. But it's, like,
Right.
it just makes the most sense for, like, me and what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's been good to me. But I started as a blogger, transitioned into Instagram, and then I had so many friends be like, you should start a YouTube channel, blah, 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 because, like, my personality is very, like, extroverted and, like, very good for video.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I started in, like, an old YouTube channel, and I could never stay on top of it. I didn't really love it that much. Like, I didn't have the correct resources to be able to do anything. So I was like, I'm going to quit that. And then I just continued with Instagram, which is my main focus for a really, really long time. But, like, Instagram is dying so quickly, I just don't care about it anymore, really.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah.
no. So,
Dying in what way?
well, like, all of the organic reach is down.
Yeah.
There's updates
Yeah, it's
literally
pretty brutal.
every single day
Yeah.
that, like, combat all of these things you could ever do. It's just, like, it's just not the place that it once was, and everything is trending towards different things. Like, everybody and their mom has a podcast now, right? And that's because voice and video is so much stronger than what I talked about earlier, like a filtered photo of your trip to Belize.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
100%.
So-
No one wants to see that. People want to see you. People want to see your authentic personality. People want to, like, hear your authentic thoughts. And so that's why everything is transitioning out of, like, the traditional pretty packaged Instagram into voice, into video, into more authentic content. And then TikTok comes along and is also stealing all of those people from Instagram onto TikTok,
Right.
being the number one social media platform.
What's VSCO?
Visco?
Yeah.
Visco is for the hose.
Is it?
Visco
how it
is
works?
literally
And you phonetically pronounce it, or do you say the letters? Because I've heard both.
it's always
Yeah.
been Visco.
I always read it as Visco. Anyways.
I
Again,
don't
how do
know.
you do, fellow kids?
I have
But-
gray hairs, so
yeah.
I'm allowed.
But Visco literally, Visco is a photo editing app.
Yeah.
That's, like, all it is. And then they started introducing these, like, feeds to Visco. And Visco, the reason why I say Visco is for the hose is because if you ever come across someone's Instagram and
Any hoe's Instagram, she has Visco.
No,
in there.
it's specific.
Okay.
If you ever come across someone's Instagram and their profile is private, but they have a Visco link, you can guarantee there's, like, 5 photos of her in her underwear on her Visco.
Can confirm.
I
See?
also can confirm. So
Visco's for the hose.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Goes for
where
the hose.
are things going for 2020?
TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
TikTok.
End of
100%.
discussion. Yep.
TikTok.
What do you think about having your own personal platform, like a blog or a website? Because that can't be taken away from you. Whereas
Yeah.
an
Speaking of
Instagram-
owning content, I guess.
Yeah.
So
right?
100% I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that you need to have a home base.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if everything died today, where would your people find you?
Yeah.
So that's why I think traditional, like, online marketing, and when I say traditional, like, it's so crazy. 'Cause
Stuff
that was
from
only,
like 2 years
yeah,
ago.
2 years ago.
yeah.
Sure.
Like an email list, like a website,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that stuff is important.
Yeah.
And that's why I also keep all of my videos, like, I won't delete things off of my hard drive once they're up on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Because if worse comes to worse, like, I'm going to upload them to my blog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
Go to
own it.
Vimeo or something.
Yeah,
right?
literally.
So yeah.
And so I totally think that owning your own platform is still beneficial, but people who are just starting up don't understand that. They're like, why would I even have a blog? I don't even read blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's about what happens if literally everything crashes. Like, what was it, 3-4 months ago when Instagram literally was just down? for
yeah.
3 days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What were you gonna do then?
What do you do? Yeah. Exactly.
What do you
So-
do?
Yeah.
So
But I mean, there's that Netflix documentary on social media influencers. I can't remember what it's called. I did watch it though.
I watched it too. It follows like a bunch of different people.
Yeah, but there's a girl that used to be
The one Vine chick who's
Yeah.
married to, isn't she married to Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna mention her because I mean, Vine went away, and now she's like kind of irrelevant in her current in Instagram or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was always wondering about that and having your own personal platform.
I think it's super important
Yeah.
to like, and the thing is, there's some people who can transition nicely and there's some people who can't. Like,
Yeah.
so for example, like the vlog squad, like your David Dobrik's, your Scott Sayers, those kind of people who were big on Vine,
Yeah.
who are now big on YouTube.
Yeah.
They made a good transition. Someone like that did not make a good transition.
Mhm.
They couldn't cut it.
Yeah.
And like you see that on a lot of platforms. Like I see so many traditional bloggers that are trying to make it on YouTube and all that stuff, and their personalities are like drier than a cardboard box, and they just can't do it
Yeah.
because they relied so heavily on this, and they're not open to diversifying their content. That is
yeah.
where I find a lot of people struggle, is diversifying their content.
Yeah.
They like
absolutely.
refuse.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
like this is what I mean too about like your apprehensiveness to TikTok.
Yeah.
Is like ultimately going to be like a downfall if you
Yeah.
don't get on it like right now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're
Well,
gonna, you're gonna
I'm
see
gonna
it
go
popping off.
make
I
a
was about to
video.
say, should we
today.
download TikTok after Carly
Should we-
leaves?
should we do
So,
one?
Yeah.
We should. I'm actually gonna check my TikTok right now. I posted one before I left the
This
house.
is going viral, boys.
Oh yeah. We but because for me, I think TikTok's not just songs and shit anymore, or is it still? Kind
No.
of. Yeah. Okay.
It's so many different things,
Mhm.
and like you can use your own voice on TikTok too. Like you
Mhm.
can do your
Yeah.
own types of comedy. There's so many things.
Right.
There's like doctors on TikTok. One of my
I have
favorite,
heard of it, or they're like a dentist or some shit.
Oh my
I
god,
saw
the
something about that.
Bentist. I love the Bentist.
Yeah, is that maybe it's the same guy?
No, maybe it's not CNN. Washington Post
Mhm.
has a TikTok. It is so funny.
Really?
It is so good. It's literally just them in the newsroom just doing dumb shit.
Huh,
And it is
okay.
so entertaining. I love it. And like there's a ton of NFL teams that have TikToks.
Oh, really? Okay.
And those are fun too. Like
Mhm.
watching those. They have like the Bulls have their mascot has an account
Okay.
and
yeah,
he like
yeah,
does all
yeah.
the dance trends. It's so funny.
Huh.
So
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool.
it could be for anything.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones, there's like a hairdresser, and so people do a video, and then she duets the video, because like on TikTok, you can duet
Right,
the
you
video
can-
so it's split screen.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, like whatever my name is, like, this is my hair, these are my problems, blah, blah, blah. And like she does a reply video, and she like gives them all these suggestions. And it's like such like an interactive thing,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
her
yeah.
content does really well.
Mhm.
Huh.
And I was like, that is a very smart way than just like doing some dance moves on TikTok. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
So
Well, or even
Interesting.
writing an email back to the person where it's scalable,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, you're not just answering them directly. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
yeah. It's also moving into the space though, because there's so many people hopping on it. Like TikTok's number one actually demographic right now is 18 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it feels like it's 10 to
10
14.
to 14. Yeah.
Their demographic is 18 to 24. There are so many like older adults.
Yeah. Young adults.
Well,
Real
yeah,
adults?
in comparison to like the people on the app.
Yeah.
But there's so many like adults on the platform who are looking for adult content.
Yeah.
Because they're getting on it and they're entertained by this stuff, but they also don't feel like they're connected to it. So
Right.
like they seek out people who are similar to them. So there is such an opportunity
Yeah.
in TikTok right now to be 18 plus, 21 plus. Like
Yeah, for sure. How'd your new post do, by the way?
it did all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's going all right.
It'll get there
I had
once this episode drops.
I hope so.
So for us, where we're realtors, to pick your brain, what would be some good TikTok content there? What do you think?
I'm trying to get my office to do TikToks and they never want to.
Yeah.
So I feel you. But I would probably do like similar to the Washington Post. Like their stuff is just so funny and it's just them in like their everyday newsroom situation just doing these trends but making like putting a spin on it.
Right.
And
And you can tell it's there, like in the Washington Post building. or
Yeah, here,
whatever,
I'll
so-
show you
Okay,
one.
yeah, for sure.
There's one that is my favorite one, but I don't know if I'll find it.
In the meantime.
Yeah, yeah,
No, the Instagram thing is actually quite interesting to me because I think that
yeah.
you and I have had conversations about how the feed is kind of going away and it's going more to the story.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
100%.
big time.
Yeah, the story
absolutely.
gets way more interaction.
Yeah.
You know that you can see your analytics on
Yeah.
every single
And
one.
If I'm not mistaken, and you probably know more about this, but because the feed is like kind of algorithmically filtered. Yeah, I know these sit weird on your jaw. hey?
I have TMJ too, so like I get like my jaw cracks all the time.
I have no idea what that is.
Temporomandibular jaw disorder. So
Oh,
like I
shit.
get like locked closed, like lockjaw.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? Oh, yeah. So your feed is kind of algorithmically filtered, but
Yeah.
story is pretty much entirely chronological. If I'm not.
It's chronological and also who you interact with the most. So like if
Right,
you
yes,
if
yes,
you
yes,
reply
yes.
to stories often or like whatever, you'll
Yeah.
see their
you
stuff
see
more.
them first. Yeah.
But also that changes so quickly versus
yeah.
in the feed, like you'd have to like 18 of their most recent posts for like one of their posts to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus the stories, like if you just continuously interact with the stories of like one person,
Yeah. You're going to see it all
you'll see it all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
too, if you follow someone new, they'll also put their story
Yeah.
up
And
there.
they put a bunch of their recent posts too in your feed too when you follow someone new.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Is your page a business account?
Yes. No. So
No.
I have a creator account.
Oh, right.
So there's
right.
there's different ones.
But
There's
it-
personal, there's business, and there's
Yeah,
creator.
yeah.
So like I have a creator account, which is more insights about like creator stuff. But I had a business account previously.
But do they kind of treat it that? Because my understanding is personal kind of gets treated better, if you will, and then
I honestly think it's all the same.
yeah.
I think
okay.
you're right. Yeah.
Like it's all the same. I went to a panel on Instagram, like from Instagram in LA.
Okay.
And they were like, "There's not really a difference." Of course, they're gonna say that, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there is.
Because the conventional wisdom, or not so conventional, that I always hear, but this kind of stems more from the Facebook world, but your business page will get less reach because they essentially want you to
Pay for it.
Yeah.
But like
so.
it's not even like that. I think it's just because the introduction of the business account came with the downfall of Instagram. So or like the downward trend of
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
It's the same with Facebook. Like when everybody's like big thing was getting likes on their Facebook account
yeah.
or like their Facebook business page,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you had my favorite analogy I like to use is like in 2007, is that when Facebook came out? 2000.
Yes. 07, 08-ish, right?
Yeah. That sounds about right.
In 2007, Facebook was like an 11-lane highway. So you had all these opportunities for traffic
Yeah.
Yeah.
organically.
Yeah.
And nothing was regulated. There was no like paid opportunities, anything like that. 2012, you lost a few lanes, but there was a lot of organic reach still. 2015, you're down to like one lane of organic traffic, and
Yeah.
these other 10 lanes are paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest
So-
with you, Facebook, man, it's like
yeah.
even for personal posts, you just don't get anything.
No.
On it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
all about velocity on those apps too. It's like you need to get immediate likes
Engagement. Yeah.
or engagement. Yeah, it's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you fall to
Yes.
the bottom.
And so
right?
something that is crazy about TikTok is they have that same kind of thing. So like in the first hour, they'll show it to like about 100 people. The next 3 hours, they'll test it in like a medium batch type of size. So they'll see who engages with it, who watches it, XYZ. After that is the like explosive growth stage. So that is when they put it on more people's For You pages. So that's when you see people with like 500,000 views on a video type of thing. But after that, those are all like AI type of things. Those are all algorithmic things. After that, TikTok has a team where their job titles are viral video like pickers.
Curators. Yeah.
And they take these videos, like they hand pick these videos
Huh.
and make them viral. So it's people
Wow, really?
actually seeing
Okay.
the content. And that's why my friend Kyle, for example, has a video with 30 million views. Because
Yeah.
someone in the team was like,
This is
one.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then sent it to like almost everybody on the app. Like
Shit.
put it on their For You page.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's how it is. They do it handpicked. which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is also why I think TikTok is winning right now, because like the app is designed for explosive growth.
Yeah.
Like I did a TikTok video about West Ed, and it literally is just like the sound is like, "Hey, Canadian check," and then it plays Drake, and then it's literally just me shooting the ship, Galaxyland, blah blah blah. It has 80,000 views, and like 1,500 comments of people being like, "I live in Edmonton," and like I was like, "Hey,
Yeah,
cool."
what's up?
So-
Did you find the Washington Post?
Oh my God, yes.
Video?
Hold on. Did this crash? Oh, okay. Okay. But remember what I said about original sounds earlier?
Yeah.
So this is like what I mean so this is the original video. This is where the sound came from, and then everybody else just did videos over top of it.
Right.
So then you can see like this is this actual.
So you. Oh, okay, I got you.
Got you.
And you like tag it as the sound or whatever.
Yeah. So then all you do is you click use sound, and then if we were to make a TikTok, it would just play it.
Right. And then you like lip sync to the
Yeah.
video
Yeah,
type of thing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
So, but yeah, Washington Post is like the funniest ones. Like, that is so funny from the top of the newsroom
Yeah,
to like this.
that's pretty good.
And
yeah.
the funniest thing is like, no one else in the newsroom like notices. It's just
Yeah,
them making
it's just them.
TikToks
Yeah.
while other people are furiously doing news.
Yeah.
Which is like I think the best part about
Yeah, absolutely.
Washington Post's TikTok.
Huh. All right. Interesting. That's good.
You gotta honestly post anything.
Yeah.
Like you could post anything and it could blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true.
My best friend got chin surgery. She got an implant.
Right.
And she literally just put a story. It's like 3 slides, and it's about her chin implant. It's
Right.
just like a before and an after, and it has like 75,000 views, casually.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, one person views it and then whatever. So,
Yeah.
Anyways, that would probably felt like showing your grandma how to change the channel on her TV or whatever, but that was
It's
very
fine.
informative. So,
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm here to educate the people.
yeah.
Gray hair.
Yeah, I can see it from
I'm
here.
gonna leave, and you guys are gonna be making a TikTok. We should honestly
Yeah.
make one before. I'm gonna force you guys to do a TikTok with me.
Sounds good.
Oh god.
Can
All
you
right.
guys? Can you dance?
No.
So.
So it would be like, how do I put this? I don't think Josh can dance due to his
No. Well, I can dance.
Yeah.
I can dance.
but we do, you haven't listened to our show,
Due to
so
my
you don't really.
huge penis.
Yeah, exactly. As all our listeners are nodding their heads right now.
Oh my
but,
fucking god!
No. Anyways, okay. So, no, we came up with not Switch, Hitch, the Will Smith movie, where it's like this is where you live, right? So that's about the extent of it. And then Josh doesn't move so good. We'll we'll say that.
Why?
I move fine.
Oh, man.
I hate the eye contact when he says stuff. It's the worst. It makes my skin crawl.
Amazing.
And the low voice, I'm like, please don't fucking look at me.
Oh man.
But I will teach you the like 4 go-to moves for TikTok dances. The good thing is
I have seen some.
it's only your upper body.
Oh,
So
okay.
you only have to stand in one place. See?
Oh, there we go. He's nailing it. So.
See? There's some good, like, this is one of them. It's pretty easy.
Oh, that one I have seen.
But I'm going to make you guys do one. And I'm going to post the first try. So,
Let's do it.
yeah.
I don't believe this was in our pre-negotiated contract, but
We didn't sign a contract, so
Yeah.
I would know.
yeah.
I was just going to say, she would know.
Well, on that cheery note,
Let's do
we're
it.
at like an hour 45. Should we
Let's call it and
wrap
do
this
this
thing up?
TikTok.
Let's do the TikTok.
let's do that hockey? All right. So, Carly, where can people find you? Plug yourself, as we like to
You
say.
can find me at YourGirlKarly, Carly with a Karly, anywhere on the internet. on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. The only thing is you can find my podcast, Hey Bitches, by searching Hey Bitches.
There you go.
You can find it anywhere, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen to podcasts. The only thing I would preface, I can't believe I didn't talk about this. Oh my
What?
God. Okay,
We
so
can backpedal.
my podcast is called Hey Bitches, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've had it since March.
Mm-hmm.
These YouTubers got together 2 months ago and started a podcast called Hey Bitch. So I sent them a cease and desist.
Oh, really?
And because they're technically infringing on my copyright, even though it's unregistered.
Right, I was about to say, but...
And it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they're like 6 mega YouTubers.
Yeah.
So like they're burying me in
Yeah.
SEO. But some of it is good. Some of them, like, people have been like, I meant to listen to this podcast and ended up listening to your podcast, and I love it.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
I had to send them a cease and desist. So
Did they respond?
They haven't responded yet.
Yeah. Would it? But would that? How would that affect?
It
Because
is-
copyright-wise, isn't it very hard to copyright a phrase or a name?
So the problem here is that we have the same wares. So we're both a podcast about sex, and it's confusingly the same. The names.
Yeah.
So it checks all the boxes
Right.
for infringement
Okay. Yeah.
and intellectual property right issues. Because
Yeah.
even though I'm an unregistered, like my plan is, because I don't move for 8 months still, and in Canada, if you register a trademark, you have 6 months to register it in the U.S. via the Paris Convention. And so in 2 months, I'm going to register it. So I'm an unregistered trademark right now. So like that means I don't have a ton of legal avenues. I can sue for the name change, but I can't sue for damages. I can't sue for money or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not like I was going to, but like because I'm unregistered, I can't do that. Versus when I'm registered, I have a lot more legal remedies. And then in 2 months when I register, that gives me 6 months to move to the U.S. and see if anything has changed. And then at the end of the 6 months, I can file a U.S. copyright thing. my one brain cell has left my head. I can file for copyright registration in the U.S. for Hey Bitches, and then I basically like can force them to change their name.
Gotcha.
And what if they do it in the meantime? You can go show that you had it first.
Yes,
sort of
because U.S. and Canada share like via like a
Yeah.
convention.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
Huh.
and
Intriguing. Okay.
it's only because though we have like similar wares, which is like the legal term
right.
for like the fact that we do the same thing.
So
Yeah.
that's Bitches, not bitch.
Well, theirs is called Hey B asterisk TCH,
Okay.
What a bunch of pussies.
right? Like just if you're gonna say it, just say it.
Yeah.
But because it's literally the exact same thing, it's the same topic. It's the same show. It's confusingly similar. Like
Interesting.
No, absolutely. No, that makes sense. I just didn't know you could do that without the copyright in the first place, sort of thing. So.
you can.
Okay.
You can,
to
but
know,
I'm
good to know.
registering it anyway, so it's not like it really matters, but you can.
Nice. Also, I have to say, you're very good and coherent at, like, one quick plug of all your handles and stuff. Some people are kind of like, oh, shit, what do I say at that? So,
No, I totally know you. Because, like, when I ask people, like, where can I find you? People are like, oh, my fucking God. Like,
my home number is 780.
Literally. My address is,
Yeah.
that's, like, 100%. But anyways, you can find me at YourGirlKarly anywhere on the internet. Anywhere. Carly with a
Awesome.
K and a Y.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks for
coming.
having
you.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate it. It was fun.
Cool. Let's make the TikTok.
Yeah.
All right.